What's going on, everybody? During the making of this interview, we had some audio difficulties, so the format and how we lay things out are a little different. The questions are still going to be lined up. They're just going to be in text form on the screen. Excuse me for this mistake, and we will do nothing but get better in the future. Appreciate you. Enjoy the interview.
Yeah, man, I love this. I love that you're doing this, the whole podcast thing. I love people going after things like this, their goals, their dreams. I love that. And I've been loving the episodes, man. I've been checking them out. They've been good. Oh man, well, it's been good for me. Fortunately, like work hasn't really stopped. So I've been fortunate in that aspect to be, employed and been working the whole time. So that's been nice. Got to spend a lot of times with the kid. The biggest bummer for me has been that this was the first year my daughter, she just turned 5. And this was going to be the first year I get her into sports and sign her up for the first time. And I was really, really excited. I coached her in t-ball, but I was really excited to get her in basketball and soccer and all that stuff and just see the kids running around. That's been like the hardest thing, man, just staying indoors. Luckily, I have a lot of family around and we all quarantine pretty much, so we all feel comfortable hanging out with each other and then just spending time with the kids. I'm the only probably person who just benefited basketball wise because the short season I've been able to help out Stevenson again this year. So I coached at Stevenson, and then I love Coach Stewart. I love Gary Stewart's been doing great things, and every year he's always like, "Hey, can you come back and help out?" And just from a time aspect for the length of the season and the dedication, you want to be there all the time. And I'm always like, I can't be there. I just feel like when I'm not there, I feel guilty. When I am there, I don't know what to say. But with 6 weeks, the season's really only been 6 weeks. We've played 2 games, so I've been able to coach again, which is, man, it's just been amazing. It's just mentally, it's just nice to be out there, and we got a good group of guys. So. I've probably been more fortunate in this time than most. So when I first got out, I did the GA at Stevenson. So I knew I wanted to get into coaching when I got out, and I also knew I wanted to do like a master's. So I tried to get a graduate assistant, GA, and I really had 2 kind of lined up. One was at Minnesota with Tubby Smith because he's from St. Mary's. So Harney had
what?
Yeah. So yeah, but dude, it worked out perfectly because I think Tubby only lasted another year before they let him go. So I think I've only been it's a 2-year program. So Hardy, I set that one up, but then I reached out to Coach Stewart, who was at UC Davis and just taking Stevenson, which was in our conference, and we just got to talking, and I really liked doing it at a D3, especially there, because that was a program that, you remember when we played there, they weren't any good. I think before I got there, we won 11. They had won 11 games in 3 years. So I was like, okay, I like this. I like the opportunity to jump. And as a Division III graduate assistant, you really get to coach. You know what I'm saying? You're really involved. You're basically like the only full-time assistant. So you get to do a lot. He really let me coach. While at a D1 level, you're more you work really, really hard at both. But at D1 level, you're more like doing the tape, getting the stats. You're not doing as much on the floor coaching. So that's what I really liked. Plus, I wanted to stay local. So got into that, and then I was there for 3 years. We had a great time. Did a lot of good things, which I'm very, very proud of. We really turned around the program, and then. When I got done my GA and I got just with work life, I was like, I can't handle both this, so I stopped. But we stayed in contact until this year. They were like, hey, because like I said, every year he'd call me and he'd be like, hey, can you? And I'd be like, nah, man, I can't do it. But he's like, look, it's 6 weeks. He's like, it's 6 weeks. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, so it's been, like I said, it's been really, really refreshing. And, especially after this, I really just want to start getting to coaching my kids. That's what I'm really excited about. So this has been a one more chance opportunity to do like the college thing, which has been really cool. Dude, loved it. We went, let's see, I think we went, so my first year we got there, I think we only won, Coach Joey got hired in the fall, and he got me in the fall, so we didn't really have time to recruit. We got there, we won 6 games my first year. And then my second year, I think we won 16. And then my third year, we won 21. And we lost in the conference championship. And we recruited locally, man. Really hit the JUCO scene and really hit the, Justin Kuntz.
Yes.
Justin Kuntz was a big part of our team.
It's like my little big cousin.
Dude, so one of the first things I did when I got there, I really hit the junior college scene. We got Sean Farr. We got Eric Fisher. Eric Fisher wasn't a JUCO kid, but he was a transfer. We really got the transfer market, especially like the older kids, and that really jump started us. Yeah, it was good times, man. I miss it. I did miss those guys. Oh, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I definitely plan on continuing to pursue it. It's just all about situation and time, and then I do really, really want to coach my kids. Like I don't know, a lot of people say that, but like I really like look forward to that. I'm even doing sports. Like I'm not a baseball guy, but I did t-ball, and I really enjoy that. Just being around the kids is it's fun to me. So I'm from like really the like Catonsville, Arbutus, Lansdowne area. I kind of lived, but my really young, up to 8, I lived in Lansdowne, and then we moved over to Catonsville. Basketball wise, I was very fortunate. So I come from a huge family, and I have my older brother's 8 years older than me. And then I have cousins every year, and and my uncles, and everybody's a real basketball fanatic. So by the time I was 4, I was playing like basketball, and by the time I was 6, we was playing like travel teams. Like I remember, and I was always playing with older kids, my cousins. So that really, really benefited me. Like I think by the time I was 8, I was playing on like 9 basketball teams. And I was playing for St. Clements, Arbutus, Severna Park, Catonsville. So I was really fortunate that as a youth, I had a lot of people. I had parents that were like took me to all these games, and I had families and cousins and uncles and just friends that really coached and developed the game. That was the other thing. The fundamentals were just really, really coached me at a young age. So I always thought that benefited me, and because most kids get into the basketball at what, like, now they're younger, but in my generation, I thought like most kids started really playing at like 8, 9, maybe. Oh, at 6, I was trapped, and it wasn't playing against 6-year-olds. It was playing against. It was so funny. So St. Mark's, I went to St. Mark's, okay, but St. Clements was our church, and where my parents and my family went. And I was in 1st grade. My one cousin was in 2nd grade, and my cousin Pat, who was a stud, dude, was in 3rd grade. And we played for St. Clements, and we won the 8-10 CYO championship. So. I would laugh. We laugh about it now. Can you imagine being in 5th grade and seeing some like 1st grader and 2nd grader walking down who just smoked you in in basketball? We just understood. We were taught the game like at such an early age. It really, really helped, and that's why in my youth, I felt like in my youth honestly, there wasn't many players up to like age 10 that at my age that could play with me, because I was just understood the game. Like Severna Park was probably the one league. That's where I met Kerwin, because Kerwin I met later on playing there. Severna Park was was very advanced. And I remember there were a couple. Oh God, man, Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith was probably like he was like my backcourt mate. Serrano Park. He was a player, but up to, like I said, up to 10, 11, there wasn't many kids. And then 11, 12, unfortunately, I didn't hit the growth spurt. And then, man, some kids just passed me. So I would say, I went from being a really, really dominant player at 10. I always played up, like I said. But then I remember, like, Kerwin. Oh, man. I remember playing against Kerwin at Herondale, and they played short shots. And Kerwin, like, he's my boy. I just couldn't. Kerwin was just a lot better than me. There's just a lot, there in middle school, the kids had growth spurts at different times and quickness. So that was a time. It was funny. It was a transition where I just was like, no one's as good as me, to where I'm like, wow. These guys,
everybody's smoking.
These guys. I don't know if you know Marquise Sullivan.
Yes.
Okay, so Marquise Sullivan, to this day, at the age of like 11, 12, I've never seen a more dominant player in the age group. Like, he was on my AAU team, and we went down to national. I think we finished like 10th in the country, and he was like his height now. And we all thought he was honestly going to go to the league because his grandfather was like 6'5", and he was like already like 5'8". Marquise was the most dominant player in national. I remember just being like, "Wow, this guy's just we're at two different levels." It was a gap, but yeah, but it was good. But like I said, it was good just being on those teams and playing with those guys. I felt like I was always like the, especially, like locally, I still like was, but in terms of like, playing in the States, there was some really good players. And I was still playing up age, like Brian Johnson was just, wow.
Yeah, beast.
Dude, Brian Johnson was just, yeah. I still don't think anybody's had a better like high school career. He was just so good. He had so many players, and those guys were just really, 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 really good. So yeah, middle school was tough. I'll tell you, Kerwin was. Kerwin was so good at that age too. Everybody loved Jordan. So I love Jordan, but I knew I wasn't Jordan. But what I always took from Jordan was just Jordan's like attitude, and like he always just thought he was like the baddest man, and his competitive edge, and that's what I really took from him. And his like winning the ball at the end. Like I had that poster above my room that always said how many shots he missed. He missed more shots than he made, and game-winning shots. So obviously Jordan, and then. I had local people. I tell you, the guy I loved was Jason Williams. When he first, he got that first mixtape, I was like, oh, okay, this guy, maybe I can be this guy. Because for me playing, I never scoring was never really my thing. Like I never really got off on scoring, and I don't think I would ever consider myself a scorer. Like I always was a pass first. Point guard, and that was my showmanship. If I want to be flashy, the passes. Man, Jason Williams just took it to another level. And then I had a lot of cousins, so just watching my cousins. I had so many cousins, and my brother playing. So just watching them, I was like, my first goal was just like, I want to be just play varsity basketball at in the BCL at Gibbons. Like that was like the first, because that just grow up in that environment and always going to Gibbons games, and then to just be the BCL, right. that was like the first goal really. So once my brother decided to go to Gibbons, it was basically like decided everybody's going to Gibbons.
How many brothers do you have?
So I have one brother, but I have so my mom is the oldest of 8. And I have a lot of uncles, and we all live here, so I have a lot of cousins. Yeah. And so once all my uncles did go. My dad went to Mount St. Joe, but all my uncles went to Gibbons. So once my brother went to Gibbons, it was kind of like We're all going. We're all going.